Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to my channel. I'm going to talk about voice, which is also known as active passive. Most of the children do find it difficult just because they do not get the clarity. But in this session, I shall discuss with you active passive in depth so that you are able to understand them and you are able to apply these rules in your day-to-day conversation while talking to others. Okay, but I do not find enough availability of the time to cover all the topics of voice because it has a number of rules that I'm supposed to cover. But in this session, I will call it active passive session 1 because I'm going to cover first part. In first part of active passive, I will be covering three tenses: present indefinite, past indefinite, and future indefinite. So I warmly welcome you to my session. Let us start the discussion. So the first tense here is present indefinite. What happens in present indefinite? When you find a sentence, you will be having such examples in your mind. Suppose I write a letter. Now the question here is, when you are going through first rule, that is present indefinite, what will you be given and what should be your response? This is a question. My dear friend, my dear friends, please note down that in case of present indefinite, you will be given either first form or first form with s या es, with s or es. In the answer, what you're supposed to do, you are supposed to use either is or am or are plus third form. Okay, so I shall also be covering with you three types of the sentences: affirmative sentence, that means positive; negative sentence; and interrogative sentence. Let us assume that the first sentence given to you is I write a letter. If this is a sentence, here you will find a subject. This is an object, but an object is coming with an article. So what will happen? Your object will become a subject, your subject will become an object, and your verb will remain at the same place. But we have to understand that when your object becomes a subject, which helping verb is more suitable? Let us say I'm supposed to use either is, am, or are. But before I apply this rule, I also need to understand that what does it mean by? What does it mean by write? Write is the first form. Second form is write, wrote, and the third form is written. From this word, I will come to know that this is first form, or if suppose this is I, that's why it is write. If it were he, then I should have written he writes a letter. So whether it is write or writes, it doesn't make a sense. Again, it is a first form. In case of a first form, please use either is or am or are depending on the subject. But my subject here is now a letter. What my subject is? A letter. If my subject is a letter, that means it is a singular. Am I right? A letter. If it is a singular, then I am supposed to use is, because is for singular, am is to be used with I, and are is to be used with plural. Am I right? So here I shall be writing a sentence like that. A letter is. Is because this is a singular, and this article a or an, they themselves define that, they themselves describe that it is a singular. So in case of singular, I'm using is. A letter is third form, written. This was a third form I had written on the board. A letter is written by. Now this I will be converted into me. Please note down this part. I is to be converted into me. We is to be converted into us. She is to be converted into her. He is to be converted into him. They is to be converted into them. I need not change anything after these 5 subjects. So that means if I get you, you will remain you. If I get a subject like Mohan, Mohan will remain Mohan. I cannot change Mohan into any other form. So Mohan will remain Mohan. So that means I, me, we, us, she, her, they, them, and he, him. So these are the 5 subjects that you must know. Okay. So what I have written, a letter is written by me. So my dear friends, this was a positive sentence in case of present indefinite. Now if I give you a negative sentence, let us see if I make it I if I make it I do not write a letter. I do not write a letter. If in a case you find two verbs in the same sentence, please note down this rule. The first verb will help you to define, to identify which rule is applicable. And the second verb is actually the core verb, or I can say that the main verb. When you're writing a third form, then you're supposed to convert the main verb into the third form. That's very important. So there are two forms now, do and write. Just because of do, I will come to know that this is the first one because do, did, done. So I will apply rule number one, which is present indefinite. That means is, am, are plus third form. But if it is a negative sentence, I shall be using is not, am not, are not. Okay. So I'm just adding not. So this is the way I can write the answer. I do not write a letter. The answer will become a letter is not written by me. A letter is not written by me. Now the question is, where is do? Do will not come into the answer. Why? Because just because of do, I have come to know which rule is applicable here. Because there is another verb which is a main verb, that is write, wrote, written. So I'm using a third form, that is written. Okay. So my answer here is I do not write a letter. Question is I do not write a letter. The answer is a letter is not written by me. Is it clear? Now let us write one more sentence which is in interrogative form. The question is, do you grow vegetables? So if I say that do you grow the vegetables, again you are getting two verbs. This is a verb, this is a verb. So just because of that, I will come to know that which rule is applicable. Do is the first one, do, did, done. So that means rule 1 is applicable. Is, am, a plus third form. But just because do is outside, it comes before the subject, my helping verb will also come before the subject. And my subject is here you. And here is the object. My object will become subject. In voice, the object becomes subject and the subject will become object. So vegetables means plural. So I will say that are vegetables. Are vegetables. Now third form, grow, grew, grown. Please note down a verb. Grow, grew, grown. So that means the third form is grown. Are vegetables grown by you? You remains you because I did not cover you here. Other than these five subjects, whatever subject you get will remain the same in the answer. So you will remain you. Do you grow vegetables? Are vegetables grown by you? Am I right? The answer is clear. I've discussed with you present indefinite having three sentences: positive sentence, which was affirmative sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentence. Now let us discuss second rule. Second rule here is of past indefinite. In past indefinite, what will you be given? This is a question. Past indefinite. You will be given a second form in the question and you are supposed to convert second form into was or were plus third form. What I said? Was or were plus third form. So earlier what I had written, what was my sentence? I write a letter. Now it will become I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter. So letter will become your object. A letter. Now this is the second form, write, wrote, written. In case of second form, you are supposed to use either was or were. If it is a singular, then use was. In case of plural, please use were. A letter means a singular, correct? I wrote a letter. A letter was written by me. This is a positive sentence now. I wrote a letter. But in case if you want to write a negative sentence, I'm going to change the sentence in case of a negative sentence. Suppose I did not take tea. So should I use I did not take a tea? What do you think? A cannot be used because A is article and T is uncountable nouns. Please do not use articles with uncountable nouns. This is uncountable noun T. You cannot count it. It's liquid. It is in a liquid form. So what I say that I did not. What did I say? I did not take tea. So this is in a negative form. So answer will become like that because there are again two forms. This is a main verb, take to taken. So write a third form of the main verb. And the form that you get at the beginning will help you to identify which rule is applicable here. So here the answer will become T was not taken by me. Tea was not taken by me. In case you get a negative sentence, this was a negative sentence, I'm sorry. In case you get an interrogative sentence, then what will be your question? What will be your answer? In case of interrogative sentence, the sentence will look like that, like this. Did you call me? Did you call me? If this is a question in your case, then please understand that did comes before the subject. So similarly, now your object will become subject. So me will become I, like I was converted into me. Similarly, your answer will look like that. According to me will become I. And for I am supposed to use was as a singular here. So that means was I, because in the question my helping verb was also coming before the subject. So similarly, the object which becomes my subject will again come after the helping verb. So the answer will be here was I called by you. I discussed with you, you cannot be converted. That's why you remains you. Did you call me? Was I called by you? This is the way. Am I right? Now let us discuss third rule. My dear friends, third rule is very important because people always have a confusion how to use will or shall in their sentences. Third rule that I want to discuss with you is of future indefinite. Sometimes rather writing indefinite, people also call it future simple. Like present indefinite, present simple. Past indefinite, past simple. Future indefinite, future simple. So you can also use a word simple, but I'm using a word indefinite here. So please understand that in case of future indefinite, you will be given will or shall, plus first form. In case of answer, you will be writing either will be or shall be. But you will be writing third form only because you are supposed to use third form in voice, irrespective of the rule. It is mandatory for you to write a third form in each answer while attempting or solving such exercises of active passive. First sentence here is I shall take tea. I shall take tea. Second sentence here is I shall not I shall not take tea. Third sentence here is in the form of interrogative. Shall I take tea? So, my dear friends, when you get this answer, I shall take tea, please understand that this is neither a negative nor an interrogative sentence. So, here your answer is that you have to decide. Please understand that I shall take tea, having a will or shall plus first form in the sentence, it gives you to understand that you have to use either will be or shall be in the answer plus third form. But now tea will become your subject. Shall be can be used with either. It can be used either with I or we. But here, please note down that shall be used with either I or we. That means in case of other subjects, you will be using will be. But here your subject becomes T. I shall take tea. So T becomes your subject, my dear friend. So what should be your answer? Please write down the answer. T will be. So you cannot say that T shall be because your subject was I in the question. Here it is not I, it is T. So T will be taken by me. In case of a negative sentence, I shall not take tea. It is a negative sentence, but now you are clear that your T is a subject. So according to T, you will be using will. T will be, but not will come in between will and be. Not should come in between will and be. So T will not be taken by me. Please understand that as and when you are using these three words, be, being, and being, it is mandatory for you to use third form immediate after that. In case of a negative sentence, not will also come. This will always come before these words, before be, before being, before been. So please note down these examples. Shall I take tea? In case shall comes at the beginning of the sentence, it comes before the subject. So here your subject will become tea. So that means tea will be here like this, tea. So can I say tea in the beginning? Can I write? No. According to tea, I'm supposed to use will. So this will answer. Answer will look like that. Will tea be? Will tea be? Third form, taken by me. In case of interrogative sentence, I'm supposed to give an answer in interrogative form only. That's why my helping verb is also coming before the subject, but be is coming after the subject. Please note. I hope you must have learned, and one more thing that you must have noticed, that I'm also using a question mark in the answer because my helping verb comes before the subject. So you have to follow these rules, and I'm really sorry I'm not able to cover all the rules of voice in a single session. But yes, I shall be coming with more videos. This is active passive, or we can say voice session 1. In session 1 I have covered three tenses: present indefinite, where you were given first form, and we have converted first form into is, am, are plus third form. In case of negative, you were given do not, does not plus first form. In answer, I used is not, am not, or are not plus first form. In case of interrogative, do does comes at the beginning of the sentence, so I used my helping verbs at the beginning. And second tense, we discussed past indefinite, where you were given second form. In case of second form, you are using was or were plus third form. In case of negative, what will happen? You will be given did not plus first form. Accordingly, you will be using was not or were not plus third form. Correct. In case do did so in case did comes at the beginning of the sentence, this is interrogative. Then your helping verb either was or were, depending on the subject, should come before the subject. This is as simple as it seems to be. And the third rule that I discussed with you, the third tense that I discussed with you was future indefinite. In case of future indefinite, you were given will or shall plus first form. In answer, you used either will be or shall be plus third form. Okay. So in case of negative, you are using will not be, shall not be. In case of interrogative, you are using will or shall at the beginning, then subject, then be. Now please note down that whether it was shall in the question, it doesn't matter. It depends completely on the subject that was earlier your object, because your object becomes a subject. Because if I say that I should take tea, tea becomes your subject here. So according to tea, I cannot use shall be, because shall be comes with the I and we. So here I'm supposed to use will be. So accordingly, you should understand and make necessary notes. Thank you so much, my dear friends, for watching this video. I hope you must have liked it. And I shall meet you again in the upcoming videos. And thank you so much for watching this video till last. If you really like my efforts for making this video, then please like it and share it with others. Thanks a lot.